Hello, everybody. This is Bundeswehr Bob, and I'm joined by Benjamin Magnus today for some more Hearts of Iron 3. Not 4, but 3. You probably figured that out by just looking at the map because it's not all 3D and shiny and stuff. We have these counters. They're flat, but they do cast a shadow, kind of.
Yeah.
I guess the counters are 3D a little bit. They're embossed.
They did a little, they added a normal map, so it looks like there's little bolts on the corners.
Oh, snap. It's all sorts of stuff. So I'm fighting in Ethiopia right now, which I didn't finish in like 5 minutes in the first episode. So,
Yeah.
I thought that was really cool.
That's what's good about Hearts of Iron 3 is everything takes longer. And I don't know. I don't feel like saying, longer is necessarily good, but there's a lot more flavor in the length. Giggity.
Okay.
I went there. I don't really feel like Hearts of Iron 4 is necessarily a grand strategy game. You could classify it as a strategy game, but it's like baby's first grand strategy game because of how simplified everything is. That's
yeah. I did try to Google like Hearts of Iron 4 versus Hearts of Iron 3, and there is a positive opinion, I would say, generally, given what Google searches I could like uncover for it. And generally it comes down to there's less fiddling about with how a front is managed. Which, here your manual, there is some AI control stuff you can do. I haven't actually looked at it yet, but I know it's available in this. I don't know if you've played with it at all. But for the most, being able to set up, so Hearts of Iron 3 has a feature where you can set up your fronts to automatically move forward.
Oh, don't do that. Don't do that.
Like I said, I haven't played with it yet, so I don't know how well it works or doesn't work and all that stuff. But Hearts of Iron 4 allows you to automate how fronts are managed. Now, for anybody who's watched my stuff or Ben's stuff or some other stuff, it's not perfect how it works in Hearts of Iron 4 with how fronts are managed and then advance and then make sure that they're still there. Like I know in, I think it's your Soviet series, Ben, that you're doing now or maybe wrapping up, I'm not sure. You kept trying to advance some of your units through a battle plan, but the front kept like extending more and more and more and more for really no good reason, even though it was supposed to be capped at a certain point.
Yeah.
So, and like at one point,
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, you straight up like took a break. It was just like, okay, now we've sorted everything out. So it's not perfect.
Like I'd give each like two adjacent armies, like say 100 kilometers of front, let them fight for a little while, come back, and one army's got 10 kilometers of front and one army's got 190 kilometers of front, and they're both just panicking and freaking out because neither one of them are working correctly, and I'm just like, that was the sound of me face planting. And it's not like it was like a one-off thing. That's constant in that game.
Poor Ben.
Well, you've seen it. I'm sure you've seen it yourself.
Well, the thing is that I've adapted to it a little bit because I know that AI, we give flack to Paradox's AI, as do other people, but the simple fact of the matter is that there is no perfect game AI out there. So just about in every game that you run into, you will find some kind of flaw in game AI that you have to work around depending on the complexity of the game. And Paradox games are pretty complex. Whether it's Hearts of Iron 3, Hearts of Iron 4, Crusader Kings 2, EU4, whatever it might be. So I'm not going to slam Paradox on their AI.
I mean, it's never been stellar, but it's always been workable. Like EU4, every once in a while, I'm like, oh, that allied army did something stupid. In Crusader Kings 2, every once in a while something weird happens, but I would say Crusader Kings 2 AI is pretty spot on. I mean, it's not really about combat, but in Hoi 4, I'm constantly going, what are you doing?
Well, here's what I would challenge everybody on, including you, Ben, is that given
challenge accepted,
the time and resources and the secure knowledge and knowing what kind of hardware a player will have, I would bet you that the AI programmers at Paradox could come up with an amazing AI that could blow anybody else out of the water. I would bet you that. Unfortunately, the AI programmers have to work within certain parameters. So
Yeah.
you know, there's some sort of design document that says, okay, so we're going to produce the game, and it has to work on this variety of machines, you know, given our market, whatever it is, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you can only allocate so many processor resources to what does the map look like when someone moves, what's the interaction taking place, how many compute cycles does it take when the AI needs to process some moves, you know, how many compute cycles does that take? So there's a lot of budgeting that occurs on a hardware level for all that to work, right? So Hearts of Iron 4, I would say, is accessible not just in that regard as a, you know, where we've been talking about being a simpler version of Hearts of Iron 3, but also in the fact that the AI has to be budgeted in such a way that it doesn't just overload your computer.
Yeah.
Right. So it's all like economics is what it is. So
somebody on my stream the other day actually did point out something pretty good. And if this is Hoi 4 working as intended, then I applaud Paradox for that. And they said that they bought Hoi 4 and they played it and they enjoyed it. And then they realized they wanted something more and went out and bought Crusader Kings 2 and realized they found something they really loved. And they used Hoi 4 as like a gateway drug into grand strategy. And if that is what Paradox intended with the game, then, you know, hats off to them. But if the intention was to make a in-depth World War II strategy game, I don't feel like that's necessarily too much of a success.
I don't think Hearts of Iron 4's intent was to become the gateway drug to other Paradox games necessarily. I think that would be a poor choice to do that. You know, if that was the whole intent of Hearts of Iron 4. You know, I think the CEO himself, you know, Fred, was talking about, you know, how he's really happy with Hearts of Iron 4 as a product. Hearts of Iron 4 is a very accessible game. I'm not comfortable with saying that it's easier. Well, it is easier than Hearts of Iron 3. I think so far, in my subjective opinion about the two titles, there's things I can appreciate about the design of Hearts of Iron 4 versus Hearts of Iron 3, but I still wish there were things about Hearts of Iron 3 that were in Hearts of Iron 4. Good examples being how the supply system works, that even though I don't really understand it quite yet, but I understand that you can do certain things. Ben has lots to say about that, I'm sure. But I would say it's an accessible title, and you know, accessibility is what leads to growth in today's, you know, just PC gaming market.
The supply system in this game is far from perfect. I mean, you have to be like one roll short of like a Chaos Space Marine in terms of your arcane knowledge to understand how the supply system works in this game, because it doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but it is functional. But that's still better than the basically non-existent supply in Hoi 4. I mean, basically, in Hearts of Iron 4, all you need to do is go, this entire region has roads in it. I'm good.
Yeah.
There's no flow of traffic. There's no physical supplies that really exist on the map anywhere. You're not creating them. You're not destroying them. You're not consuming them. Where in this, you are doing that, but, I mean, they do things like magically teleport from one location to the next and things along those lines. That will occur once our borders start touching, probably.
What's this? Ethiopians are driving me back? That's not allowed. I need to win the war by March 1st.
Well, we're only 2 months in. Can we speed 3 it? Are you comfortable with that?
I mean, we can speed 3 it.
Because Germany is just watching tokens move across the screen at the moment.
Well, Italy's an exciting place, let me tell you.
Yeah, Germany is just, you go here and you go there, and East Prussia's garrisoned. Woo!
I don't know what it is, but I've definitely been on an Italy kick lately.
Italy can be very fun. It can be, considering your strategic location, but, you know, touching France, touching the Baltic states, not the Balkan states, not Baltic states. That would be a weird
those
map.
Quite often, just verbally.
And then you got all of North Africa, you know, under your heel, potentially.
Mm-hmm.
Which is pretty cool.
No, we lost the battle. That's not cool.
Oh, there's something else I wanted to compare and contrast is the way air power is handled in this game. I enjoy so much more than the way it's handled in Hoi 4.
I'm still undecided on that, but I'm sure once we're done with Hearts of Iron 3 as a series, I'll have a different opinion about it. But I like the fact that I can designate, like, hey, I want you to go ahead and have this be your either cone of attack or in a radius around this particular province. Go ahead and conduct these missions, do it during the day. Well, you can do day and night, all that kind of stuff in Hearts of Iron 4 as well.
Yeah.
But I it's more granular with how air power works in here. I don't feel it. Hearts of Iron 4 very much has it set up like a list of modifiers.
Yeah.
As opposed to a direct combat action. Which is what I've observed in Hearts of Iron 3 anyway. Like it'll say ground attack, once someone's been hit somewhere. Yeah. In Hearts of Iron 3 on the map, where in Hearts of Iron 4, it's not that way.
Yeah, I mean, what I really like about this is the fact that, if you put air map mode on, it'll show you exactly where your planes are and the radius in which they can operate based on the, the kind of planes you're using and things like that. And the fact that you can tell them to attack you can tell them to attack a region, you can tell them to attack just one province, you can tell them to do very specific things or very broad things. And it's not just regulated to that, okay, I'm going to take 1,000 planes and I'm going to put them in this area, but they're going to operate at 50% because they can only hit half that area.
Well, again, that goes back to the whole accessibility sort of conversation, right?
Yeah, it does.
How much kind of like, nonsense does the average consumer want to, deal with?
All of it. All of the nonsense.
We're not the average kid. We do YouTube for a living, Ben. We're not the average consumer.
No, we are far from average.
We do demand a little more from our games because our brain power is going towards playing the game, a lot of the time. So
what I just heard from that is we want better games because we're smarter than all of you.
That's not at all what you should have gleaned out of that at all. I feel like Sam Harris right now.
Oh, jeez. That was funny.
Who
we
Sam
have
Harris
the brain
is?
power to devote to this.
Do you know who Sam Harris is?
It does not ring a bell.
Sam Harris is he's a really smart guy. He's a neuroscientist who has written and talked at length about things like free will, Islam being full of bad ideas, things like that. He's a really smart guy. He's really awesome. I highly suggest anybody watching to Google up or YouTube up Sam Harris. Really smart guy, great to listen to. But he frequently gets into these situations where he is discussing a topic with somebody, and typically he brings a lot of facts and data to the table, which I love him for, but he gets bogged down by these people who continually bring up emotional arguments and their experience and things like that aren't relevant to the conversation that he's trying to have. It's really frustrating to listen to sometimes, because I just want to be like, you should just stop talking to him, Sam, because they're not going to talk about this on your level, dude.
Your emotions are bad, and you should feel bad.
Well, there's nothing wrong with emotions. It's when you're letting emotions cloud like data and facts. But anyway, yeah. I've been attacked again. No, why would you let that happen?
How's she doing in Ethiopia? I've been watching the map. It hasn't changed in a while.
It's changed. What are you talking about? I've got all sorts of territory under my control.
Well, the last 10 minutes.
Oh, excuse me.
You control all of the rich Ethiopian salt mines.
That's right. I was actually a little bothered to find out that I don't actually have the ability to annex all of Ethiopia. I just can puppet them.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like a pre-existing war goal for when the game starts.
I was just like, oh, sad.
Yeah.
Yeah, you try to attack me there, and you can't do it. Ah, ha, ha, ha. I am superior Italian. Oh.
I'm building roads, I'm building factories, I'm building infantry, rocket test sites.
Rocket test sites?
Well, one.
So I'm building a bunch of industrial capacity up front. Is that good to be doing that?
Yes, that is good to a point. You just have to make sure you find the balancing point where you need to stop building them, because a lot of times you can do is just like factories, and then you get to 1941 and run out of materials and they stop working.
Yeah. And I don't know about this support attack thing. I'm going to support attack left and right.
Support attack is amazing.
Wish I just knew about sooner. I probably did though, is the thing, because I did do a little very short 8-episode series as Germany. Just before Hearts of Iron 4 came out, just so I can say I had the experience of playing Hearts of Iron 3, even though I think it's probably irrelevant because I didn't know what the hell I was doing. And nothing was more stark than when I got a bunch of flack from some people in the community about, Bob, you witchcraft your way through the Maginot Line. I was just like, what are you talking about? I mean, because the Maginot Line is supposed to be this hardened defense line between Germany and France. And I knew that it was probably going to be impossible for me to break through it, but I just like stacked up every single German soldier, like everybody who had a gun in Germany was just like standing on the border and charged forward. And I managed to break through it at great cost. And I had a few people who was just like, Bob, you're not supposed to be able to do that. It's like, well, I know, but I did it. It's just like, you're a witch, Bob. You're a witch.
I almost always break the Maginot Line myself. Usually what I end up doing is I do the usual Schlieffen plan, and then I just hammer on one province in the south where you can, hit it from a couple different directions. And I break through in the south and then do an encirclement. So I Schlieffen and then break through the south and circle the entire Maginot Line, and then France is gone. That's what I usually end up doing. And Bob's a witch.
Damn, Bob's a witch. I can. It's like, why do you guys give me so much flack about this? Like, you're not supposed to break through the Maginot Line. It's like, well, I mean, what do you want me to do?
Want to.
But I want. He's like, you can't stop me.
All right.
Can't stop me, you son of a bitch.
All right. The German First Army is on the Dutch border.
Screw the Dutch.
Damn Dutch. All right. I move on Poland. Starting to actually get my troops into position now that enough time has passed to actually move them around. I think I can see everybody now. I can see you.
I lost a battle. The Battle of Mega.
Mega
Battle. Battle of Mega.
Oh, I see it. Yeah, right down here.
Oh, wait, are you going to attach to anything? You should be.
So, March 1st is come and gone.
Damn it, we're not done yet.
No, you're not. Go faster. Well, once you're done with that, we'll be able to fly through the initial stages of the of the game pretty quick like a bunny. You guys go there. I'm getting blooped on Discord.
Oh man, I have the streamer mode thing enabled for Discord. So good.
I should probably do that.
I mean, mine comes on automatically because it recognizes my recording software. It's just like, oh, you're doing the thing.
Yeah, because you use OBS.
Mm-hmm.
I have a decent amount of tactical bombers. I like that. Although they're Junkers 52s right now. So we're upgrading them. They should be Heinkel 111s before too long.
I do like the automatic upgrade system in this over. I mean, if you want to talk about like streamline and stuff, I think I'd rather have that over what there is in Hearts of Iron 4, which is the production line management aspect of that.
You mean Production Line Simulator 2016?
Well, I like the production line stuff personally.
I like the production lines too, but the problem with the production lines is I like the production lines more than basically anything else in the game. It's cool that how they work, and they are pretty streamlined, but they're also in depth. I think that's one of the best parts of the game, but the problem is that's like the most enjoyable part of the game. It's like, all right, do I want to sacrifice my my production efficiency, or do I want to get these new models out? And it's just bleh.
Bleh.
But then I look at the naval combat and I'm like, okay, it doesn't balance out.
Well, naval combat in Hawaii 4 is pretty much just like, hey, bring battleships.
Yeah. What's an aircraft carrier? Shoot it.
Or make sure you just have like naval bombers for days on land and just like,
oh yeah,
pepper them everywhere.
That's easily one of the most unbalanced part of the game is naval bombers, because you could build 2,000 naval bombers in the time it takes to build, like one aircraft carrier, and they're 10 times more efficient.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, have a range of 4,000 kilometers, in the late game, and so much more efficient. The problem with aircraft carriers can be fixed, though. The problem with aircraft carriers is engagement range. They need to fix the engagement range.
The fools from Japan have canceled our most generous trade agreement.
Fools.
Those fools.
Well, you occupied the Rhineland.
Yay!
Yay! So I can't do Austria unless the Nazi Party has at least 40% popularity, or it's 1938.
God, Ben,
so
so
can I
unpopular.
increase? Can I be more popular? What if we went intelligence, and then went neighbors, and then went Austria, and then went oh no, that's right, Austria, and then went support ruling party. There we go. Well, support Nazis. Oh, they're only at 5%.
Nazis.
The Nazis. All right, let's go check on Ethiopia again. Ah, you took a province.
I've taken several provinces. Thank you very much.
My Discord chat is buzzing.
Oh,
Bob and Ben playing Hearts of Iron 3 multiplayer. I didn't even know that was possible. Probably Germany and Italy. Multiplayer is much more stable in Hearts of Iron 3 than Vicky 2.
Is it really? I would think that this would get like I don't know. We'll see. I don't want to jinx it, but I mean, I've seen the Soviet Oob, and I don't know, man. I don't know.
The Soviet order of battle is easily several hours of work.
You just have a whole series dedicated to the order of battle and command structure of the Soviet army.
When I did the Soviet Union for Black Ice, what I did was I grabbed every single unit, moved it to Moscow, then deleted the order of battle and built it from, the ground up.
Mm-hmm.
And it took a long time, but it worked.
Yeah, but you did it, by George.
Man, the Soviet order of battle in my Black Ice series was immense. Absolutely immense.
Yeah.
Oh, it was a thing of beauty is what it was, because there was, I did a defense in depths kind of thing. Like there was, border troops who had their own command structure, and then there was my actual normal combat troops that had their own command structure. Then my line of garrison, which had its own command structure, and then they all kind of overlapped each other in these lines. It was beautiful.
Okay.
It was gorgeous. All right, so that is an army right there. Well, it's kind of an army. Let's see. There's going to be...
Come on, Italian troops, move into Addis Ababa. We need to end this war. What's supposed to end the war? Take that Italian clay, which will be Ethiopian clay.
I love naming my units in this too. I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I just created an army command structure for my units in East Prussia. So now the army there is the 2nd East Prussian Army. So even when they move out later in the game, they're no longer in East Prussia. It'll still be the 2nd East Prussian Army, which is I like that. And I made a corps for my tanks. It's the 1st Panzer Corps.
Submarines are pretty worthwhile in this, right?
Yeah, they're useful.
Gotta be.
Because raiding...
Unlike Hoi 4.
Yeah, because sinking ships actually does something.
Yeah, that is one of my big complaints of Hoi 4, which is that you're not able to sink resources and stuff, or starve out.
That strategic warfare is basically non-existent.
Yeah, it's not a thing.
When I was attacking Japan, I remember having 4,000 bombers constantly bombing Japan for 2 years, and just reducing the entire island to rubble. And it basically didn't do anything.
Yeah. Come on,
Just
guys.
leveled
Moving
the
to
whole
Addis
place.
Ababa. Come on, guys.
You can do it, Bob. I believe in you.
Just-
Are you attacking from multiple directions now?
Well, I've won the battle. It's just a matter of actually getting in there and occupying the clay now.
Oh, okay. Then let's speed 4.
But no, damn it. They reinforced the damn thing again. Fuck. You son of a bitch.
Conquest of Ethiopia is taking longer than the conquest of Russia.
Rude.
No, I'm comparing and contrasting 3 and 4.
Oh, okay.
Can we be
That's
friends
fair.
yet?
That's fair. I'll take that.
Offer trade, influence nation. You're already all the way over here. Invite to faction. So you're not between their neutrality and the highest threat against them is too high. Okay.
Well, if I just conquer Yugoslavia, it won't be a problem.
Yeah, exactly. You attack them, and I'm sure you're fine. I'm sure that'll make you all threatening and whatnot.
Germany notices that Italy's beating everybody up on the block. They like their style. I like the cut of your jib.
I was just about to say that. I like the cut of your jib, Mussolini. Oh, also, production licenses are pretty cool.
Yeah, I've had a couple of countries that are like, hey, we want to build the thing. I don't know why you want to build Italian things, but okay.
Yeah, but like if you wanted to say build some German panzers, you'd be more than welcome to. Ah, huzzah!
War's over, boys. Let's go home.
Well, well, by home you mean Yugoslavia?
Well, you know.
So how much IC do you have working for you right now?
As soon as I redo my... I need to take care of a few things here. There's that. There's that. Don't need reinforcement anymore. Upgrades will keep low. I have 53.8 right now.
Ooh. I forgot how low that is for Italy.
Well, we got some, we've got some factories getting built and stuff, so it's all good.
Oh yeah, it'll get up. I mean, Yugoslavia is a pretty rich area.
Everything's fine, Yugoslavian clay will be mine.
You can declare war on them, correct?
Not yet. I'm still working on making them a threat.
They're not threatening enough?
Not yet.
So how long did it take you in your single player attempt?
It was like early 38, I think, or late 37. I was able to declare war on them.
Oh, okay.
So it's not that far away. It gave me plenty of time to like reorganize the army, get them in a position to fight, all that kind of stuff. So,
all right, I'm going to try to keep this at about 140% because we are using some officers. We're going to up our espionage game a little bit so we can get a little bit more espionage-y.
Espionage.
Yeah. And I'm gonna go pretty much historical on this. I'm gonna do what's necessary for the Nazis.
You must because you can. We're actually probably a little over time in this episode, as we usually are. Thanks for watching, everybody. Please tune in tomorrow for more Germany and Italy take over parts of the world and fight others that aren't us.
Yes, those things and others.
Can we call a series that? Yes. Germany and Italy fight people that aren't them and try to take over parts of the world.
This is at least got to be the name for the first episode.
See you later, everybody.
Goodbye.